One of his most candid interviews ever, Britain's Prince William is talking about the impact of losing his mother. He's hoping to help others by sharing his very personal thoughts.
In one of his most candid and heartfelt interviews to date, Britain's Prince William opened up about the profound impact of losing his mother, Princess Diana, in a tragedy that has shaped his life and royal duties ever since. His aim, he said, was not only to confront his personal grief, but to help others by sharing his experience openly, a rare glimpse into the private struggles of the future monarch. Yet, behind this vulnerable reflection lies a much more turbulent story currently gripping the royal family and British society at large. Recent reports have revealed that Prince William has taken unprecedented legal action against Queen Camilla, a move that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of Buckingham Palace and far beyond. This bold legal challenge marks a significant escalation in what insiders describe as a long overdue confrontation, a daring move that pits the heir apparent squarely against a woman who has redefined his father, King Charles III's reign. While many question the true motives behind this dramatic decision, one fact remains clear. This is no ordinary family squabble. It is a battle with the potential to reshape the very fabric of the British monarchy. Was this confrontation inevitable, or was there a specific event, a breaking point that finally pushed Prince William to take such decisive action? Join us as we unravel the layers behind this stunning royal showdown, a story that promises to rewrite the narrative of Britain's oldest institution. Royal drama has taken center stage like never before. Princess Anne, the only daughter of the late Queen Elizabeth II, is also reported to have initiated legal proceedings against Queen Camilla. This development has exacerbated tensions within the royal family and is widely believed to have influenced Prince William's own legal challenge. Such formal legal disputes between senior members of the British royal family are virtually unprecedented in modern history and mark a striking departure from the tradition of resolving disagreements behind palace walls, quietly and discreetly. This public conflict threatens to undermine the monarchy's carefully curated image of unity and dignity, an image that has long been the cornerstone of its enduring authority. Royal commentators and insiders alike note that the timing and nature of these legal battles raise profound questions about the underlying fractures that have been simmering within the family for years. What has driven Princess Anne, a woman celebrated for her unwavering loyalty to the crown, to take such an extraordinary and public step? To comprehend the gravity of the situation, one must understand Princess Anne's character and the reputation she has cultivated over decades of royal service. Former palace staff frequently describe Anne as remarkably grounded and authentic, embodying many of the pragmatic qualities inherited from her parents, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Anne's straightforward, no-nonsense approach to royal duties has earned her considerable respect both within the family and among the public. Anne's decision not to confer royal titles upon her children speaks volumes about her preference for substance over ceremony, reflecting a desire to grant them more normal and less public lives than traditional royal protocol might allow. This choice, rare among senior royals, underscores her practical values and independent thinking. Her unpretentious attitude toward royal life resonates strongly with those inside palace circles and the broader public who admire her for her dedication and humility. Over the years, Princess Anne has demonstrated tireless dedication to charitable causes, engaging with over 300 organizations, both in the United Kingdom and internationally. She founded what was originally known as the Princess Royal Trust for Carers, which evolved into the Carers Trust, an institution reflecting her deep commitment to social issues and advocacy for vulnerable populations. Her work extends far beyond the ceremonial, marking her as a champion of service whose influence transcends mere titles.
Yet, this principled stance also highlights a broader tension within the royal family between duty and tradition on one hand and the turbulence wrought by personal rivalries and changing public expectations on the other. Princess Anne's steadfast commitment to charity and duty is often contrasted with the more modern, media-savvy personas emerging within the younger generation of royals. Does her approach strengthen the monarchy's image as a bastion of tradition, or does it underscore a growing divide within the institution? Queen Camilla's life took a dramatic turn upon the public revelation of her relationship with King Charles. Prior to this, she lived a comparatively quiet existence away from the limelight.
In 2004, author Kate Moss famously recounted an encounter with Camilla at a social event where they shared a casual conversation while waiting for the restroom, an anecdote that today reads as a rare glimpse into the woman who would soon become a central figure in royal history. Camilla's journey to queenship was anything but smooth. Once widely reviled as the other woman in the marriage of Charles and the beloved Princess Diana, she endured years of relentless media scrutiny and public hostility. The roots of her relationship with Charles trace back to 1970, beginning with a light-hearted remark about their ancestors' distant connection, a history that seemed to foreshadow the complex entanglements that would later define their lives. Many close to Camilla insist that becoming queen was the furthest thing from her mind at the time, a sentiment echoed by the Marquis of Lansdowne, who confirmed that she never envisioned the path her life would take. Nevertheless, Camilla's ascent to the throne was not left to chance or mere fate. Some insiders believe her rise involved careful calculation, strategic moves to secure alliances within the palace and craft a public image designed to gradually win acceptance. Publicly, her reputation was marred by the scandal that shattered the fairy tale narrative cherished by the British public. Privately, however, Camilla worked tirelessly to reshape perceptions through dedicated philanthropy, focusing on causes such as osteoporosis awareness, literacy, domestic abuse prevention, and animal welfare. Queen Elizabeth II herself reportedly harbored mixed feelings about Camilla's place in the royal family. Initially hesitant, the late monarch grew to appreciate Camilla's genuine dedication to meaningful charitable work and eventually granted her blessing to assume the role of Queen Consort. Despite this royal endorsement, Camilla's position has remained fraught with controversy, not least because of the enduring shadow cast by Diana's legacy. The transfer of power following Queen Elizabeth's passing appears to have intensified tensions, particularly between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. Royal insiders hint that Anne feels increasingly marginalized as Camilla consolidates influence at the heart of the monarchy, potentially explaining Anne's decision to take such decisive legal action. Life in the public eye has posed significant challenges for Princess Anne throughout her life. Media scrutiny frequently painted her as aloof and unapproachable, earning her the unflattering nickname her royal rudeness after a 1982 incident at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, where she reportedly told intrusive photographers to naff off. Yet beneath this prickly public persona lies a woman deeply committed to her royal duties and public service, rejecting superficial judgments and emphasizing the profound responsibility she believes her position entails. Anne's no-nonsense approach reflects a deep understanding of the complexities of modern monarchy, where the performance of royal duties often demands navigating a labyrinth of public expectations, media pressure, and personal sacrifice. This style, while alienating to some, underscores her authenticity and steadfast dedication. But does Princess Anne's forthrightness make her the most unrelatable royal, or does it challenge an institution struggling to reconcile its storied past with the demands of the present?
Princess Anne has long proven that royal duties extend far beyond mere ceremonial appearances or ticking boxes on a public schedule. Her journey exemplifies dedication, perseverance, and an unyielding commitment to service. Remarkably, it took her a full decade to feel truly ready to join Save the Children's public debates, an indication of her thoughtful approach to her role. Between 2022 and 2022, Princess Anne undertook over 11,000 official engagements, a record that earned her the well-deserved reputation as the hardest-working royal of her generation. The British public admires her genuine and no-nonsense approach. She is unapologetic about not following every royal protocol to the letter, which only adds to her status as a national treasure. What sets Anne apart is her remarkable authenticity. Unlike many royals who seem distant and overly polished, Anne remains refreshingly real. She does her own makeup, fixes her hair, and famously drives herself to events. She even queues for the bathroom at her daughter's horse competitions, just like anyone else. When it comes to manual labor, she has no qualms about getting her hands dirty. She's been spotted fixing fences on her country estate without hesitation. Her practical approach extends to social situations as well. For instance, she often chooses not to shake hands, preferring instead to avoid favoritism or awkwardness. This practicality permeates other aspects of her life, including fashion.
Far from embracing flashy or ostentatious styles, Anne has garnered attention for her early and consistent advocacy of sustainable fashion long before it became fashionable. Former British Vogue editor Edward Enninful once praised her for this commitment, recognizing her as a pioneer in marrying practicality with style. Princess Anne's fashion sense is, much like her public persona, a perfect blend of thoughtful, principled choices and timeless elegance. She doesn't chase trends, rather, she embodies a grounded, purposeful style that reflects her values. This thoughtful authenticity has led many to speculate whether Anne's principled nature might be at the core of some of the current tensions within the royal family, particularly her reported conflict with Queen Camilla. Could Anne's unwavering commitment to transparency and duty be a factor in the quietly simmering royal tensions? Anne is famously unafraid to break royal traditions when it suits her principles. She has been known to wear the same outfit to multiple high-profile occasions, including a floral dress she sported at 2 separate royal weddings nearly 3 decades apart. This is not just frugality, but a statement, an embodiment of British fashion sustainability and practicality. Her sartorial choices are wide-ranging: military-style outfits, vibrant patterns, and timeless classics. In the 1970s, Anne was a fashion trailblazer, embracing puffed sleeves, florals, and striking stripes, establishing herself as one of the most stylish royals of her time. Today, she continues to make bold style statements, confidently donning military-inspired attire and personalizing her outfits with signature brooches, an elegant nod to her strong individualism and connection to the armed forces. Her fashion is not just about aesthetics, it mirrors her thoughtful stance on royal duties and affairs, consistently balancing tradition with a modern, pragmatic outlook. Queen Camilla's journey is more akin to a complex romance novel filled with intrigue, controversy, and resilience. Her bond with King Charles is no fleeting affair, but a deeply rooted connection forged through shared aristocratic backgrounds and mutual understanding. Their relationship began in aristocratic social circles, where familiarity and comfort blossomed into love. Camilla often turned to Charles for counsel, reinforcing a profound emotional support system. However, their union was fraught with challenges, particularly in relation to Charles's sons, Princes William and Harry. The relationship's rocky start was shaped by traditionalist voices within the royal family, notably Charles's great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten.
He reportedly opposed Camilla's suitability as a future queen, advising Charles to have fun dating but marry someone young who knows nothing about royal life. This entrenched belief in social rank and royal tradition sowed seeds of discord that would plague Charles and Camilla's future together. Even Queen Elizabeth II's tacit preferences hinted at resistance to their union. When Charles embarked on a 7-month naval deployment aboard HMS Noevia, whispers circulated that the trip was intended to create distance between him and Camilla. Lord Mountbatten's influence, combined with the Queen's subtle leanings, underscored the pressures Charles faced to find a more suitable match, ultimately leading to the arrangement with Lady Diana Spencer. Charles's request that Camilla assist Diana in adjusting to royal life was a difficult yet telling gesture. However, despite initial attempts at cooperation, Charles and Diana's marriage swiftly deteriorated. The early warmth they shared devolved into frustration and public discord. The situation became so untenable that in 1992, the then Prime Minister had to formally announce their separation in Parliament, making private marital struggles a matter of public record. Princess Anne's perception of Camilla evolved over time. Initially skeptical about Camilla's capacity to assume the role of queen, Anne observed Camilla taking on increasing royal responsibilities with growing dedication. Despite her reservations, Anne's opinion began to soften as Camilla demonstrated a genuine commitment to her duties. Yet the situation intensified dramatically when private tapes between Charles and Camilla were leaked to the media, transforming their private conversations into public spectacle. The revelations exposed the intricate and messy entanglement of personal feelings, royal duties, and public expectations within the Windsor family. What was once speculation became undeniable proof of a love that defied convention and media scrutiny. The scandal erupted in 1993 when newspapers published intimate phone calls between Charles and Camilla, revealing the enduring affection they shared despite being married to others. These conversations, broadcast globally, laid bare the emotional turmoil and dissatisfaction that marked their respective marriages.
The leak was a source of embarrassment for all parties involved, especially Camilla, who until then had managed to avoid the public spotlight. The incident marked a turning point, exposing the royal family's private struggles and complicating the narrative surrounding the monarchy. In a defining moment, Diana confronted Camilla at a birthday party in 1989, bluntly accusing her of having an affair with Charles. This confrontation highlighted the escalating tensions within the family and foreshadowed the public unraveling of the marriage. In a subsequent interview with Martin Bashir, Diana openly acknowledged the presence of 3 of us in this marriage, alluding candidly to Camilla's role. This frank admission challenged the royal facade and reshaped public discourse about the monarchy. This intricate saga continues to resonate as one of the defining and most emotionally charged chapters in the annals of modern royal history. A saga woven from threads of love, duty, betrayal, resilience, and reconciliation. The complex interplay between Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter, and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall and now Queen Consort, embodies a microcosm of the British monarchy's broader struggle to maintain relevance in an age that demands transparency and transformation while remaining anchored in centuries-old tradition. The tangled web of relationships within the House of Windsor has long captivated the public's imagination, yet few narratives are as fraught, enduringly complicated, and revealing of royal life's intricate human realities as the dynamic between Anne and Camilla. Their uneasy rapport is rooted in decades of intertwined personal histories and institutional loyalties, where the private invariably collides with the public and where family devotion often confronts unyielding royal protocol.
In the wake of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's painful separation in 1992, Diana's candid remark that their marriage was a bit crowded, referencing the presence of 3 people in this marriage, unleashed a media frenzy that forever altered public perceptions of Camilla Parker Bowles. Camilla was swiftly cast in the role of the vilified Rottweiler, a disparaging moniker that reflected widespread blame for the dissolution of what had been one of the most beloved and iconic royal marriages of the 20th century. This branding entrenched a stigma that clung tenaciously to Camilla's reputation, creating a formidable barrier not only with the British public but within the very corridors of Buckingham Palace. Winning over members of the royal family, particularly Princess Anne, was an even more arduous task. Anne, renowned for her steadfast loyalty to the crown and unflinching dedication to tradition, viewed Camilla with a suspicion born of both familial protection and personal history. Their shared past was anything but straightforward. It was marked by complex, layered connections, romantic entanglements that spanned decades and blurred the lines between personal affection and royal duty, adding emotional weight to what might otherwise have been a mere familial coolness. The frosty reception that Anne extended toward Camilla transcended simple sibling solidarity or protectiveness over her brother. It exposed deep-seated wounds and unresolved tensions that simmered beneath the polished veneer of palace decorum and ceremony. For Anne, Camilla's rise was not merely an adjustment in royal roles, but a direct challenge to the traditional hierarchies and the implicit codes of respect and precedence that had long governed the royal family's inner workings. Anne's opposition was thus emblematic of a broader struggle, one that sought to reconcile the bitter legacies of the past with the evolving realities of the modern monarchy. For years, Anne voiced her reservations privately, cautiously navigating palace politics while maintaining the public image of royal unity. Her resistance played a pivotal role in complicating Camilla's path to full recognition as Queen Consort. This title, steeped in both constitutional significance and symbolic resonance, was not simply about formal status. It represented acceptance, power, and inclusion at the heart of the monarchy, an inclusion that Anne was determined to scrutinize and, if necessary, resist. Time, as it often does, brought a measure of pragmatic acceptance, if not wholehearted reconciliation. Anne's stance evolved, balancing reluctant acquiescence with calculated diplomacy, a reflection of the monarchy's own precarious balancing act between continuity and change. While the tension never fully dissipated, it settled into a complex coexistence, enabling the institution to maintain a fragile public front amid private unease.
The proposal by Charles to Camilla in 2005 was thus more than a personal milestone. It marked a culmination of a journey fraught with public scrutiny, personal sacrifice, and shifting family dynamics. The engagement ring, a sparkling heirloom once worn by Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, symbolized not only a union, but also a tentative royal endorsement of Camilla's place in the succession of power. Their wedding, conducted as a civil ceremony in Windsor Guildhall, consciously eschewed the grandeur typical of royal nuptials. This subdued celebration reflected the lingering public skepticism and the cautious acceptance within palace walls, a reminder that Camilla's road to legitimacy was marked by compromise and restraint. Fast forward to September 2022, when the coronation of King Charles III provided a pivotal moment for Camilla, who assumed the formal title of Queen Consort in a ceremony rich with symbolism and tradition. The ancient rites included a solemn and evocative invocation, "God save the King, may thy servant Camilla, who wears this crown, be filled by thine abundant grace and with all princely virtues." These words, steeped in centuries of monarchical history, elevated Camilla's status from consort to queen, affirming her role in the constitutional and ceremonial life of the nation. Among the witnesses was Prince William, standing both as son and heir apparent, his presence underscoring the generational shift within the monarchy. William's silent observation of the unfolding ceremony highlighted the nuanced realignments of loyalty and power within the family. His relationship with Camilla, complicated by history and personal allegiance to his mother Diana, reflects the ongoing negotiation between past wounds and future unity. This coronation scene serves as a potent emblem of the monarchy's evolving narrative, a tradition-bound institution navigating the turbulent waters of modernity, where ancient rites meet contemporary expectations and where personal histories intersect with public roles. The symbolic passage of the crown to King Charles III, with Camilla by his side as Queen Consort, encapsulates a monarchy simultaneously anchored in history and reaching towards an uncertain future. In this light, the relationship between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla remains a compelling study in contrasts and convergences. Two strong-willed women shaped by history, duty, and personal conviction, embodying the tensions inherent in a royal family grappling with its identity amid a changing world. Their story continues to unfold, reminding us that behind the glittering facade of royalty lie deeply human stories of rivalry, reconciliation, and the relentless pursuit of legacy. The intricate and often fraught relationship between Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Princess Anne is steeped in a history that predates even the widely publicized marriage of Camilla to Charles, Prince of Wales. To truly understand the depths of their personal and institutional rivalry, one must journey back to the social circles of 1960s Britain, where youthful entanglements and aristocratic traditions laid the groundwork for decades of complex emotions, alliances, and tensions. Camilla's early years defied many of the conventions that characterized the British upper class and royal circles. Perhaps one of her most emblematic acts of defiance occurred during her debutante ball, where she notably wore black rather than the traditional white gown expected of young women making their formal entrance into society. This subtle rebellion hinted at a character who would later both challenge and reshape royal norms. It was within these elite and tightly knit social environments that Camilla first encountered Andrew Parker Bowles, an officer in the esteemed Royal Horse Guards and a frequent companion of the young Prince Charles on the polo field. This meeting would prove consequential, not only for Camilla and Andrew, but also for the wider tapestry of royal relationships that would unfold over the coming decades. The romance that blossomed between Camilla and Andrew was anything but straightforward. Their relationship, lasting around 6 years, was marked by intense passion, but equally profound challenges, including bouts of infidelity that brought emotional turmoil into what might otherwise have been a fairy tale courtship. These struggles, while perhaps typical in aristocratic circles known for their discreet yet complex social lives, were magnified under the scrutiny of a public and media ever hungry for royal scandal and drama. Simultaneously, Andrew Parker Bowles was also romantically linked with Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter, in what many insiders believed was a relationship poised for success. The pairing was regarded by some royal observers as a natural fit, combining Anne's strong-willed, pragmatic character with Andrew's social standing and military career. Yet, their hopes for marriage were ultimately dashed by the immutable religious restrictions codified in the Act of Settlement 1701. This piece of legislation, designed to secure the Protestant succession to the British throne, expressly forbade members of the royal family from marrying Roman Catholics. Given Andrew's Catholic faith, this act presented an insurmountable barrier, consigning Anne and Andrew's relationship to the annals of what might have been in the history of royal romance. Compounding the emotional complexity of these relationships were persistent rumors circulating within palace walls and occasionally surfacing in the press that Camilla's affair with Prince Charles might have begun while she was still entwined with Andrew Parker Bowles. If these reports hold any truth, they paint a picture of entangled loyalties and affections that blur the lines between personal desire and royal duty. This tangled web of relationships reflects a long-standing pattern within royal circles, where the private and public inevitably collide, and where personal histories often shape political realities and influence the fate of an institution that prides itself on continuity and tradition. Such a charged past inevitably casts a shadow over the current relationship between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. It explains much of the distance, occasional frostiness, and at times the overt tensions that have punctuated their interactions. Within the royal family, history is never simply a matter of record, but a living force, shaping alliances, rivalries, and the subtle power dynamics that govern the daily workings of palace life. These emotional and historical forces are rarely visible to the public eye, but resonate powerfully behind closed doors. Yet, despite their turbulent beginnings, there have been signs of a gradual and cautious rapprochement between the two women. The palace grapevine has been abuzz with speculation that Camilla's initial courtship of Charles might have been motivated, at least in part, by a desire for retribution linked to Andrew Parker Bowles' infidelity with Anne. Regardless of this alleged motivation, those close to the family maintain that Anne and Andrew eventually settled into a pragmatic and enduring friendship, one grounded in mutual respect rather than romantic affection. This friendship reportedly stirred tension during Anne's marriage to Captain Mark Phillips, when rumors of an affair between Anne and Andrew briefly captured the tabloids, reflecting the simmering undercurrents of personal drama beneath the polished exterior of royal life. In recent years, the relationship between Anne and Camilla has evolved into one characterized largely by professionalism and occasional cordiality. They have been seen collaborating at official royal functions, including hosting charity receptions at Buckingham Palace, signaling a pragmatic willingness to work together despite past differences. At a notable recent reception, Princess Anne's choice of a simple white ensemble, reminiscent of the understated elegance of her 1992 wedding dress, stood in subtle contrast to Camilla's choice of a more formal, historically laden outfit, complete with ivy leaf brooches dating back to the 1930s. These sartorial decisions can be interpreted as symbolic manifestations of their differing royal personas. Anne's grounded, no-nonsense practicality, juxtaposed against Camilla's embrace of lineage, tradition, and ceremonial gravitas. The reception drew attendance from other senior royals, including the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, as well as prominent public figures such as the esteemed actress Ruth Wilson. The atmosphere on the surface projected unity and solidarity. However, this appearance of harmony was sharply contradicted by the later revelation that Princess Anne had initiated legal proceedings against Queen Camilla, a development that sent ripples of shock through royal circles and the wider public alike. This unprecedented legal action represents more than just a personal dispute. It signifies a watershed moment for the British monarchy, one that lays bare the tensions and fractures lurking beneath the surface of an institution often perceived as monolithic and timeless. The public airing of such conflicts challenges the monarchy's long-held tradition of resolving differences behind closed doors, raising profound questions about the sustainability of royal secrecy in the digital age, where the public demands transparency and where media scrutiny is relentless and omnipresent. At its core, this unfolding drama reflects the broader existential challenges facing the monarchy today.
how to reconcile the weight of centuries-old tradition with the pressing demands of modernity, how to balance personal ambition and duty, how to manage public perception while safeguarding private relationships.
The struggle between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla encapsulates these tensions vividly, serving as a microcosm of the monarchy's ongoing negotiation between past and future, between protocol and personality. As this saga continues to unfold, it offers an extraordinary and intimate glimpse into the human heart of one of the world's most enduring royal institutions. Beneath the crowns and ceremonial splendor are individuals wrestling with loyalty, rivalry, love, and legacy, forces as old as the monarchy itself, yet as immediate and impactful as the headlines they generate. For royal watchers, historians, and the public alike, the evolving story of Camilla and Anne presents both a cautionary tale and a profound study in resilience, power, and adaptation. It compels us to reconsider not only the individuals involved, but the very nature of monarchy in the 21st century. An institution at once steeped in tradition, yet irrevocably shaped by the complexities of modern human experience. Such developments underscore a fundamental truth of royal life. Beneath the stately appearances and choreographed smiles, ancient tensions and deeply personal conflicts can resurface unexpectedly. Even the most carefully managed royal families cannot escape the weight of history and emotion that accumulates over generations. One recent moment captured the fragility of this relationship vividly. During a University of London honorary degree ceremony, Queen Camilla was invited to receive an award presented by Princess Anne. The exchange at the entrance was telling. Camilla, observing royal protocol, courteously gestured for Anne to proceed first. Anne's response, a simple smile and wave forward, subtly asserted her seniority despite the known hierarchy. The ceremony itself was replete with politeness. Camilla joined a distinguished group of recipients, including Winston Churchill and Dame Judi Dench, while speeches praised her philanthropic dedication and Charles's progressive outlook. Yet, beneath the formal compliment and public civility, the tension between the two women was palpable. Having one's sister-in-law present such an accolade is fraught enough with potential discomfort. To then discover that this same sister-in-law is engaged in legal proceedings against you exposes the stark contradiction between public duty and private discord. The audience was left to read between the lines, discerning the silent undercurrent of rivalry masked by royal decorum. Meanwhile, the coronation of King Charles III brought a rare light moment when the monarch joked about his famously swollen sausage fingers, eliciting a warm chuckle from the crowd as Prince William assisted him with his regal robes. Yet, for Princess Anne, the moment was heavy with significance, a poignant acknowledgement of her brother's long and often arduous path to the throne, a transition marked by decades of preparation, duty, and personal sacrifice. As the monarchy faces this unprecedented internal upheaval, the interplay between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla serves as a stark reminder of the human emotions at the heart of an institution often perceived as distant and immutable. It is a narrative of loyalty and love, rivalry and resilience, tradition and transformation, a story that continues to evolve as the British royal family navigates the complexities of the modern era. King Charles III, upon ascending to the throne, moved swiftly to establish a distinctive and purposeful reign, one that balances the gravity of centuries-old traditions with the imperative demands of a modern, rapidly evolving society. His immediate and active engagement on the global stage, most notably his leadership role in platforms like COP28, signaled his unwavering commitment to tackling some of the most pressing issues of our time, foremost among them climate change.
This strategic emphasis underscored that his monarchy would not be a mere continuation of ceremonial pageantry, but a proactive institution striving to shape global discourse and policy. This transition represents far more than a mere formal shift in power. It stands as a defining moment in the British monarchy's long and complex history. At its heart lies a profound question, one that has shadowed the institution for decades. Can the monarchy maintain its revered traditions while embracing the urgent need for progressive transformation? King Charles III now shoulders this weighty dilemma as he attempts to harmonize centuries-old customs with the dynamic demands of a rapidly changing world. The British public, renowned both for its steadfast loyalty and its rigorous scrutiny, watches intently. Charles finds himself navigating a delicate balance, redefining what it means to be monarch in an era marked by sweeping social change, technological revolution, and an increasingly fragmented 24-hour global media landscape.
We invite you, our readers and viewers, to engage deeply and thoughtfully with these unfolding chapters. How do you perceive King Charles's leadership and his vision for a monarchy fit for the modern age? What might be the lasting impact of the unprecedented legal disputes within the royal family on the crown's cohesion and public standing? More broadly, what role do you believe the monarchy should play as Britain and the wider Commonwealth navigate the complexities of the 21st century? Your perspectives and insights are invaluable as we collectively ponder the fate of one of the world's most iconic and enduring institutions. Together, we witness a chapter of history in the making, where the past meets the future amid the hopes, fears, and resilience of a royal family and a nation. If you found this analysis insightful and compelling, please do like, share, and subscribe for ongoing, in-depth coverage of the British royal family's evolving saga. And don't forget to click on the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss the latest developments and expert commentary.